You're watching This Week in Otter Athletics. I'm Lindsay Trout, joined today with head coach of the women's softball team, Coach Kenney. Thanks for being here, Coach.
You're very welcome, Lindsay Trout.
Now, going back to last season and being conference champs, do you feel you guys kind of have a target on your back this season as far as conference competition?
You know, once you have a couple winning seasons, especially conference championships, I think that teams get pumped up to play you. And teams are pumped up to play you, you obviously have teams playing a little better and a little more inspired. So yes, I would say there's a little bit of a target on our back. Perhaps we're putting it there a little ourselves too.
And when you came off your tournament in Arizona back in the beginning of February, what were some key improvements you wanted to make before you began conference?
Well, the one thing that we really needed to cut down on was our pitchers walking batters. So we needed to cut down on walk batters, and our defense needed to get a little bit tougher. We're a little bit young on our infield. We have 2 freshmen starting. We hit the ball extremely well. So if we can just, toughen up our defense, we'll be very successful.
And you guys had a very successful weekend last weekend in San Francisco. Tell us about those games.
We had the 4 games at San Francisco, and our pitchers threw very well. In fact, we should have probably come out of there 4-0, I think. They had a clutch hit in the first game, I would say, carried them through that game. Kylie Linane pitched the first game, and then we had a great performance from Diane Ortiz in the second game. And Caitlin Wallace had a good performance in the third game, and then we brought Kylie Linane back for the 4th game, and she actually had a no-hitter through 6 innings and gave up a leadoff hit in the 7th. And then things got a little interesting, but we managed to pull off the win.
Now, going into your trip against Humboldt this weekend, what are some key matchups in these games?
Well, I think the key matchup then would be Kylie Linane pitching against Vanessa Hoover, their pitcher. That's a huge matchup. And then they have a real big hitting first baseman. Christy Stolf, I think is her name. And she has 8 home runs this year, actually 1 ahead of our top home run hitter, Shea Olds. So that's another matchup. I think definitely the team that keeps the base on balls down and the errors down is going to win those games.
All right, thank you for being here today, Coach.
You're welcome.
And be sure to watch the Otter softball team face off this weekend in Humboldt on OtterAthletics.com.